The shadows of storm and night, the mysteries of life and light, from unearthly peculiarities, celestial and divine, to apparitions and transcendental signs. You're listening to the Spirit Podcast.
Hi, friends, and welcome to the Spirit. I'm Beck.
And I'm Steph.
Hi, Steph.
Hi, Beck.
And today we have a special guest. But before I get into that special guest, I am doing this podcast braless.
She's going commando.
I am. I don't know if that's offending anyone, but it is so comfortable.
It helps the podcast.
I think you feel free. The ladies feel free. I know all the ladies out there can relate to freeing the girls.
Well, there is some constriction with that. I think guys understand this with some tight underwear. Sometimes it feels good just to let go because...
Free ball it.
Yeah, you're free balling.
It's true. There's nothing more free than free balling. Today's guest is awesome. I think we're going to have a blast. I've been excited about this episode for a while. How about you?
Oh, yes. No, this is going to be one of our fun ones.
He has a master's in film directing. He's been an avid watcher and creator of movies since forever. His films have screened in galleries from Rome to Munich to Tokyo and in New York City. He's the sinister minister, a pesky poltergeist. Please welcome our friend, Jason Wicks. Hi, Jason. Thanks for being here with us today.
Welcome to your doom. I got my spider cider here, and let's get zany.
Beautiful. Tell us, Jason, where can people find your work if they're interested?
Just go to YouTube, Wiki J74, and all my movies are on there.
I'll put that link in the description for our listeners to check out.
Word. Do you remember what spider cider came from? Did you girls ever go to the haunted hayride?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Spider cider and deadly donuts.
No, wait. Tender morsels. So for anybody that doesn't know, we're all from Syracuse. In Children of the Corn area outside of Syracuse is like the sticks. It was haunted hayride, and I remember going, and I was fucking starving. And they're like, we're going to have refreshments midway. And then midway through, we pull up, and these witches and warlocks and ghouls come out, and the witch goes, have some spider cider and tender morsels. And the fucking spider cider was an 8-ounce cup that was like 1/3 full. So it was like a glorified shot. And the tender morsels were 2 mini powdered donuts that you get at the supermarket, 80 for 2.59 Entenmann's. And I'm like, yeah, hell is this? So yeah, anyway. So whenever I have a drink during Halloween, it's spider cider.
Let's dive into some of our films that we've picked out.
Well, just in general, The Fog. There's one called Demon Seed where a computer impregnates a chick that he has hostage. And The Fly. Everybody knows about Brundlefly. So
The Fly. Classic.
Yeah. Puking on things and melting them down. You know, that's what he does.
One of my movie picks is The Forest. The Forest is about a twin sister that disappears in Japan in that suicide forest at the bottom of Mount. Yeah, it's in the bottom of Mount Fuji. It was really good. It was psychological and frightening, but it was a good pick. It was kind of a lesser known movie, but it was fairly recent. Another movie I really like, Shaun of the Dead. It incorporates humor and zombies. Just a classic film.
Yeah, I like when they mix humor, like What We Do in the Shadows.
Yes, I love zombie movies. I don't know why. I've always had a total irrational fear of zombies. Maybe because I feel like it's totally possible. Only because of things like bath salts and Flocka.
There's enough Flocka videos to make you think zombies.
So, I submerged myself into that situation and think, what would I do if there was zombies coming after me? So I'm going to talk about a couple more films relating to zombies that I really enjoyed. Interestingly enough, it's kind of a Korean genre. Some of those are Train to Busan. I don't know if you guys... Oh, great movie. What'd you think?
Cool. Yeah. You know, they're the fast zombies. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I like when zombies are bent over and when they stand up, you can hear all the clicking and they're just twisted looking, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they are.
Did you get to see the sequel to it, Peninsula?
No. Is it same quality? Is it like just as good or?
It's a different Different storyline, same makers. Supposed to be the sequel of it, just got released this year. I thought Train to Busan was better.
Okay.
And then another movie that is along the same lines, it's actually got released on Netflix this year, and it's called #Alive. It was a Korean zombie movie. I think the concept in that one, there was different little things that I enjoyed that were different as opposed to other zombie movies, because when they got a hold of their victims, they would drag them like spiders kind of across the ground.
That
Ooh.
sounds scary.
It was scary. Those scenes were a little frightening, but I got some scare mail I want to read. And this is from Kara and Camillus. Kara says there's an early Peter Jackson film called Dead Alive. It's about a young man. It's about a young man who's been coddled by his mother his whole life, and when she became a zombie, he has to deal with it. It takes place in New Zealand in the 1950s. The movie is full of dark humor and features lines such as, "Your mother ate my dog," and a kung fu fighting priest that says, "I kick ass for the Lord." It also features a humorous baby zombie and a mother of a monster, literally. She added that the movie is pretty gruesome effect-wise, but it holds up pretty well, and she thinks it's the best movie ever. Thanks, Kara.
I think that's a great movie.
I have a story about Dead Alive when I was first introduced to Dead Alive. So some mate said, hey, in the East Village, there's this like gallery and they're showing movies and everything. And it literally looked like it had been around since the 1800s. And we go upstairs and there's this room with a projector and there's just people sitting around and water's dripping and you had to watch where you're stepping or you might fall through the ceiling. And Dead Alive was on and I was like, wow, this is really cool. But it was at the end when he's fucking killing everybody with the lawnmower. I'm like, wow, I got to check that movie out. So it was like I was sort of in Dead Alive. And then the girl goes, okay, we're going to watch this other movie called Street Trash. Have you guys ever heard of Street Trash?
No.
Nope, not at all.
Okay, so it's basically about all these homeless dudes in New Jersey who they buy this liquor called Tenafly Viper, and you drink it and you'll melt, right? So in Street Trash, it's around like rubble and stuff, and we're surrounded by rubble. And Maggie, at one point, my girlfriend, was like, "I can't handle this," and it was like we were, it was like we were in Street Trash, you know, and So whenever I hear Dead Alive, it's always sort of connected to Street Trash and that scene. Yeah, so that's my Dead Alive story. And Street Trash.
It's a great pick and a great story.
Don't want to watch Street Trash. I've tried to watch Street Trash many times, and it's just, it's not that great.
Well, at the end of Dead Alive, the mom has become like really ginormous. I'm trying to remember it. You know, I haven't seen it maybe twice in my life. Did she get like humongous? And she was freestyling too. Like she didn't have any bra.
Yeah.
She was free-boobing?
She was free-boobing.
Yeah. We're connecting the themes.
Yes, we are. It's a girl that takes after my own heart here.
Well, it's funny because I feel like there must have been something in Peter Jackson's life to make him think of these themes.
Yeah, I just remember like this creature and she's to the hero like, come to mommy, like, come over here. And, you know, she's all messed up and looks like something out of The Thing, you know.
Well, the other Peter Jackson movie, Bad Taste. Do you remember that one?
I saw it a long time ago. Yeah, I don't remember it really.
It's a long time. Yeah, it's amateurish, but it was pretty funny. I remember we had a VHS in my house up in my sister's bedroom, and my dad accused us of having a porn tape. Like, it is not a porn tape. And he's like, yes, it is. I'm like, well, how would you know? Somehow my dad was convinced it was porn, and it must have like give him a flashback or something.
It was called Bad Taste. Let's talk about movie scores or music in a movie that might have scared you. You know, that amazing music that just, or sound effects even, that just really bring that movie to life, bring it right into your living room, bring it right into your nightmares.
All right, so this is just a little thing. The Shining is a cool score because it's not really music. It's like heartbeats and like metal and like weird stuff. So even watching it now, you notice that the score is just simmering and making you unsettled. Like that's what it's supposed to do. But what I will say, any kind of devil shit, like fucking Omen or anything that goes kind of like Domiko Satani, Domiko, like, you know, with the cherub kids, like, you know, or like at the end of Poltergeist, it's la 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 la, you know, like I can't handle any of that. To play with my girl, we'll be sitting on the couch and she'll go, you know, what movie do you want to watch tonight? And I'll go, okay, well, we're going to pick something that goes, Domingos, Penny, Domingos. And she'll go, no. Yeah, so I kind of mess with her that way. But yeah, any kind of chanting in Latin or that kind of freaky stuff. Yeah. So, you know, Omen or any kind of devil stuff, I think does me in.
Yeah, no, those are the movies that I had listed because of the same reasons.
Beautiful. I actually brought in War of the Worlds on that one, only because when those things were coming out of the ground,
that movie frightened me.
I mean, that was a frightening movie.
Yeah.
I like how the thing comes out of the ground. It's like, and it's starting to aim its phasers, and everybody's staring at it like, what is that? And then they just all get fried. You know?
Exactly.
Fucking move, start running or something. What you doing?
Yeah, they always stand around staring. What's that? I mean, realistically, as soon as we start seeing the ground crack, we'd be out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's transition again. Let's go into the earliest childhood memory when a movie really just fucked you up. Now, this movie doesn't have to be a horror film to fuck you up. It can be anything. Now, for me, I have a couple listed, and I'll go right into mine. I have Watership Down. I'm not sure if you've seen that. It's an animated film about bunny rabbits. I've also got another animated called Dot and the Kangaroo. And as a kid, it was an Australian movie. Dot was a little Australian, but when the Aboriginals came in, the spirits of the Aboriginals, it scared the shit out of me. The video Thriller by Michael Jackson horrified me as a child. And the movie Phantasm, because there was a scene when they were in the morgue. Or was it, what was it called?
It was all a morgue, wasn't it?
Well, I don't know. Was it called a morgue where they put the body? A mausoleum. They were in the mausoleum and the bodies were just coming right out. And I just was like, nope.
There are things like Salem's Lot where the vampire, I don't like anything that taps on a window. And Salem's Lot, your friend would get bitten and it would tap on the window like, open the window, Frankie. So that kind of messed me up. But if I have a definitive kind of scare when I was a kid, it's the early 80s, and I'm about like 5 years old, and my parents didn't give a shit what I was watching. So like by the time I was 7, I'd seen The Shining and, you know, The Entity and all sorts of stuff. So Amityville Horror, I'm sitting on the ground 3 inches from the TV, because that's what we did back then. It was one of those TVs that were the cabinet style, like on the ground. And that was our virtual reality back then. So I'm staring at the TV, and Amityville Horror comes on, and yeah, you know, they shot it. I think they shot it in 16 millimeters, so it has that old kind of creepy quality inherently. But I'm thinking in my head at like 6 years old, this movie ain't shit. Like I'm gonna go to bed right after this, no problem. And then all of a sudden I hear, "Get out!" And I'm like,
oh my god!
And I'm like, what was that? And then it does it again. It's like, get out! And then you just hear me go, eh! And then my fucking mom picks me up and takes me out of there. And then I couldn't sleep for like a week. But I didn't see the rest of the movie at that time. But I've seen it since. And it's not that scary, but you don't want to hear "Get Out" when you're a kid 3 inches from a TV, you know?
I agree. That's one of the movies, and I think wasn't there like a part 2 to this movie that probably wasn't as good, but I've seen that one as a kid, and there was some sort of scene where there's like a well and some person is swimming, but I don't know what it is. It's like a person swimming through it or something happening, and I lost it. I was like, I can't watch this anymore. There's so many movies that spooked me as a kid. I don't know if they ruined me, you know, like for the rest of my life. There's certain things. I talked about this in our other episode of Films of Fright. The Exorcist movie itself, just because of the language that was in there, was to me so. I've never heard anything. There's some stuff in there that I've never heard in my life, but I knew it was bad.
I don't think I've ever heard it ever since either.
No, there's nothing bad. I mean, literally, there's a scene. I mean, I feel bad for the actress. She's a little girl, and she's got to say, "Your mother sucks cocks in hell." What kind of a line is that? And then she's taking a crucifix and stabbing her private parts with it. That's when I left. I think that was the scariest, most offensive thing I've ever seen in my life. When I saw that movie, I was in Catholic school. You don't do that with a crucifix whatsoever. I don't know. That was, to me, very, very scary. I think Amityville Horror was extremely scary. Probably, to me, more scary than a lot of other movies, even including The Exorcist, because I never finished The Exorcist. I still don't know how that story went because I never got back to it. That's how scared I was.
Those old movies, the way they shot them or whatever film stock they used, it already was old-timey, creepy looking.
Oh, yeah. For sure, that
Yeah.
darkness. I don't think they can emulate that today. I mean, they have better graphics, better special effects, green screen, all that, but I don't know. They just can't bring that same vibe.
I feel like the storyline and the music carried all the old movies and not the graphics, you know? And to me, that's more frightening, is the feel of a movie in some ways more than what you're seeing. Because I've seen lots of modern stuff with great visuals, but it doesn't really impress me too much because you know it's fake. To me, it's always been the music and the storyline.
Yeah, that stuff didn't depend on computer graphics. Like everything now is too slick, but that's all we had back then was music and atmosphere and puppets, you know?
It's true. Speaking of puppets, how about some scary non-horror movies that terrified you? There had to have been a few of those. I've got 2 listed. One would be Serpent and the Rainbow.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah, man.
One of my favorites.
Again, ties into the zombies. It's just something about those zombies. And then the movie The Road. Anything end of the world, it's just got that dark, terrifying thing to it. What about you, Jay?
I was going to the bathroom from all this fighter cider. And you can leave that in.
Okay.
So, okay, so there's a part A and part B. So it's the 80s, and there's this nuclear umbrella we're all living under. Like, we think we're going to blow up every night. Like the Ruskies, you know, like Red Dawn. Again, all this stuff was when I was like 6 and 7, and I watched, it was summer, and I watched The Man Who Saw Tomorrow about Nostradamus with Orson Welles.
That was a scary film. That was scary.
It was, I mean, they showed missiles. They showed like this tyrant pointing at like a map, and then it's like Washington, and then you see the missiles point of view like coming down on the city. I remember the next day we all were hanging out climbing trees, and we were in a tree, and I was talking to my friend Paul and some other people, and I'm like, we're all gonna die, man. It's over. And then so that actually scared the shit out of us for like 20 years. You know, now it's calmed down, but again, it's the 80s. A little bit after of Man Who Saw Tomorrow, they announced the day after was coming out. You know, it's about nuclear war. It's no holds barred. Not really a great ending. It's kind of how it would happen. And my parent, I'm like, can I watch day after? And they were like, no, you can't watch it. But I had a trick. So I would sleep with the door open. And if you peeked looking through the door, you could see the TV. So when I'm in bed, I would put a mirror up on my little dresser. And
ooh, that's good.
yeah, I could lay. I used to watch like Monday Night Football. I'd watch my dad and his friends play Atari and bet on Space Invaders and throw the controllers and get pissed off. So I'm watching the day after. You know, again, I'm thinking this is gonna be fine, whatever. But it just by the end of it, my eyes are wide open. And I remember going into school the next day. You know, you go to homeroom before the classes started, and all the kids look shell shocked, man. People look like they were shattered, like they were raving all night. It was bad, man. And yeah, I showed that to my girlfriend recently, and by the end of it, she's like, "What are you doing to me?" I'm like, "This is how it's gonna be."
All right, I got a scenario for you guys.
Yeah.
This is for both of you. Watch the tape from The Ring, or have to say Candyman in front of a dark mirror.
Oh my gosh. I think I'd rather watch the tape from The Ring because I haven't seen the movie fully, so I don't know what's going to happen. But with Candyman, I remember I actually went to the theater for that movie. That was a bad situation. You said Candyman, he'd show up and then...
Oh, they were both bad situations.
Yeah. Though I have to say, The Ring had that dark feel to it the whole time, where the Candyman was dark, but not as dark as The Ring. The full feel of the movie, don't you think?
I don't know.
Everything was so toned down in that movie, in The Ring. Everything was like in a really dark room all the time. That's all I remember, anyways.
Before I give you my answer, I want to tell you one of the worst times I ever had in the theater. Okay.
Okay.
One of them was in Saving Private Ryan, and one was in The Ring. And the connecting for both of them was I got really high before both of them. So. So I'm sitting there at the beginning of The Ring, and you know everything's going down. It's terror for like 15 minutes, and I'm gonna have a heart attack. I can't take it, man. I was telling my girl I gotta leave soon, but and then it calmed down. Again, I almost died because I was way too high, and you know. So all right, so The Ring. I don't know if anybody survived The Ring, but I feel like Candyman we could. But then again, he's supernatural. But at least The ring girl can come out of your phone or whatever, but like Candyman, I think we can get some katanas and take him on a little bit and at least try. So I think I'd go with, because I know he's going to appear behind me and I'm going to be ready. So
Okay.
Okay. I think I'm going to go with Candyman there.
I agree with that. I think that's a valid point. It's almost like you're prepared for the Candyman, but you are totally unprepared for the ring.
Mm-hmm. There's no real rules with the ring. If you say Candyman, he's going to appear behind you, and then you can fight him and kick him in the nuts or whatever.
Favorite movie? Maniac. Okay, meaning a human, non-monster that likes to kill. Slashers welcome. The crazier, the better. What you got, Steph?
Okay. I had to think about this because who would want to be anyone that's a murderer or a torturer or anything? And I wouldn't want to be any of those. But I do recall back in the 90s when Interview with the Vampire came out, the movie, I had never even read Anne Rice's book, so that was all fresh to me. Brad Pitt's, what the heck was the name of his character?
It was like Louis
de Point du Lac.
That's right.
Louis de Point du Lac.
They should have just named him Brad.
Yeah, Brad the Vampire, because basically
Brad the Vampire.
Him, and it's so shocking that someone like Tom Cruise somehow got away with being a vampire. I don't understand that, because he has no mysteriousness about him whatsoever. But yet that was a good film for the time, and Brad Pitt didn't ruin it, and neither did Tom Cruise.
I'm gonna go with Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs, only because he's highly entertaining. I mean, his dance that he does.
Yeah. I'd start laughing a bit, and then I'd quickly turn to terrified because I can't get out of the well. I like my maniacs unhinged, right? They have to be batshit. That opens up the door to hilarity. But again, 1A and 1B, really quickly, Michael Myers. What made me like something like Michael Myers is when he'd fucking stab you and then he would tilt his head to one side and then the other, like he was admiring his work. But the one that I don't know if many people know, there's a movie called Black Christmas. It's from 1974. It's directed by Bob Clark. He directed Christmas Story, right? And it's got Margot Kidder and John Saxon, who just recently died. So this killer would climb up your house and then just go in the attic. And so he goes into an attic of like a sorority house, and in the attic is like fully furnished. There's a phone, there's a mirror, there's a bed, there's like entertainment and all this stuff. So he would taunt you. He'd call on the phone and call downstairs and taunt you and stuff like that. So anyway, there's a particular scene where somebody's mom or something comes to the sorority house. Before he could strangle her or whatever, she gets a cab and leaves. So it's his point of view from the attic, and he's looking out the window, and she gets in the cab and leaves. And then still his point of view with his arms, you can see his arms stretch out. He throws a fit. And I saw the trailer, and in the trailer, this happens, and I went, I got to see this, right? If you go to YouTube at around the 41-minute mark, and it's on YouTube, you'll see the maniac going crazy. So he sees his prey leave, and then he turns around, and it's kind of like, and he's trapped in the room really badly. Like there's a part where there's like one of those horses that we would ride as a kid, and he just kind of pushes its face, and it just barely moves. And it's like, you got to take this killer down. He can't even take down a freaking kid toy, you know? But yeah, that's my kind of maniac. One where he doesn't get what he wants and he throws a fit. Yeah.
I want to go into the movie monsters that you would prefer to fight, because you led us into that perfectly. So let's talk about the best chance of survival. And I'm going to go with, of course, Chucky. Just because I think you could just kick that little fucker across the room.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think of that. He's really not threatening at all unless you're sleeping or something.
No. And little gray aliens, I could just crush their giant heads in with my boot.
Right.
Because they're short.
Well, there's tall grays and short grays.
I never heard of tall grays.
Oh, there's tall ones.
I wouldn't have said that if I knew there was tall grays.
All you got to do is punch it in its fucking eyeball, and it won't be able to see because it's such a big eyeball.
I know, they have big eyeballs. You just have to crush those little gray alien heads in with your boot and smash them and turn your heel into the ground.
What about the Puppet Master toys? Those would be easy to take out. Easy.
No, just a few like toys. Yeah.
But they're sneaky though. You know, they'll be under your bed. One will be under your bed. One will be under your pillow. One will be on the chandelier. You know.
That's true, but I feel like you'd have a good chance with them. I now I've struggled with this one, but I feel like I could take them. Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Huh.
What do you think?
I don't know. Why do you think it's easy? Because they hypnotize and do all that type of stuff,
Yeah,
right?
but he was confined to his castle, and he was always old
Right.
and feeble, and he would be like shadowy, you know, like he would kind of haunt the people that were there with him, but not very threatening. He tried to seduce them with a bunch of naked ladies. But then outside, all that he could do is get someone to believe him and then give up their will. But it seems like if you fought him, because then you see it was
Van Helsing.
Van Helsing.
Oh, Van
Van
Helsing.
Helsing used a Eucharist from the Catholic Church and burned it on his forehead, and then he was done.
Right.
You know what? You're making a lot of sense. We could blow that fucker up. We can have like Steffi knock on the door and he answers, and then she just backs up, and Becky and I could swoop in and shoot him with some stakes or something. Like, yeah, he's not a fast.
He's
vampire.
not. And if you think about it, when he had to travel from Transylvania or whatever that was, Romania, he had to be locked up in like crates. He couldn't just travel like a normal person. Why did he have to be locked up in crates? He could only come out as night, and like he'd shape shifts into a wolf or something.
Dracula's a punk.
Yeah, I think Dracula's a punk.
Yeah, he's a slow moving punk. Yeah, we can get him. No problem.
I did want Brad Pitt to be my friend and interview the vampire because he could fly and take you off to a concert or do something that was really fun.
Steph wants to go to a concert with Brad the Vampire.
But yeah, Steffi, who's your friend here? It's Brad the Vampire. Okay.
He had self-control. That's what he learned. That's why I liked him, because he had all the powers. He had the nice clear nails. Remember they show the nails? And it would show like these really clear nails.
Mm-hmm.
It's hilarious because you guys are talking about his nails.
But it was true. It's in the movie. They show his nails and they're like nice and clear. He has self-control. He drinks the blood of rats or whatever street animals that he finds. So he has self-control. He's like the virtuous vampire, almost like a saint. Like, I've redeemed myself.
Okay.
And that's why I liked him.
This leads me into the movie monster you would want to be, and I'm just going to answer that for Steph. She'd like to be Brad the Vampire.
Okay.
No, but how about a movie monster you would really want to be? A monster meaning anything. Yeah, I'm going to go with Predator myself.
That's a good one, man. Yeah. Invisibility, lasers, all that.
I've always wanted to be the Invisible Man since I was a kid. I don't know if he's even a monster, but he's kind of
evil. Yeah, he's kind of.
I wanted to be the Invisible Man. I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, that's on my list. I have two, and Invisible Man was on my list. Like, that's a cool power to have, like, to be invisible, but he's not super strong. And if you get cornered, you're done, But I'm gonna go with Pennywise. I'm gonna go with Pennywise, but here's I'm not gonna do any pedo shit, okay? So think about it. He can teleport. He could change shape. It'd be funny if we were having a movie night and you just look over and I'm sitting there like Pennywise holding balloons. You'd be laughing. Yeah, I think I'll go with him. I think I'll go with that. If anybody messes with us, if there's any ruffians, I can turn into like a 30-foot crab creature and just take him out, and then we can go back to the arcade.
Okay, my problem with Pennywise is that he's in a sewer or somewhere. He pops up in a place that is so claustrophobic that I could never be Pennywise. I don't know if this was in the recent film because I watched it. I don't remember much of it for some reason, but I remember the 90s version. Do you remember the TV series that came out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was in a sewer, and that to me looked so claustrophobic that I thought, that's so horrifying, being a clown and
so you could
in
never.
a tiny I could never ever be a clown because I don't like those spaces that he's in. I like maybe some of the powers he has, okay, fine, but not the spaces.
We can throw some great parties in the sewer. The acoustics are great. There's some people,
Podcasts are awesome.
if we did it like in the meatpacking district, we'd have a rope and bouncers. It'd be great.
I mean, this all leads me into the next segment, which is a movie monster you would chill with or have as a mate. Now, obviously, Steph would not be chilling with you, Jay, because you'd be Pennywise, and she couldn't handle that. But I would chill with Pinhead.
Oh yeah, he just kind of talks like Shakespearean, and he just kind of is standing there all the time. it'd be all right, you know.
If I was going to go with a more G-rated monster, you know, I'd probably hang out with the Sanderson sisters.
I don't know
Only
that.
Oh,
What's
the
that?
Sanderson
What?
sisters, you know, the Hocus Pocus, you know, Bette Midler.
Oh, yeah, I just showed my girl that like last week. Yeah. She hasn't seen that now, and all these people on Pinterest like, you know, Hocus Pocus time, and you know, I'm like, let's do it. So,
I just rewatched that recently and I realized how actually evil they were. Because when I first saw it, I thought they're very entertaining and funny, which they are. But then they like steal the energy of children. So they suck the energy, like they show like this like glowing light going into them. I'm like, wow, they are really evil. I never thought about it because I looked at it as so playful as a movie. But just recently, like looking at them, I'm like, wow, that is freaking evil. They are really evil. These witches are evil.
But they sing, I'll put a spell on you.
Can't have Bette Midler in a movie while a song.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, we're all gonna chill with Carrie, okay?
Oh, boy.
We're gonna chill because look, her mom is done at the end of the movie. Spoiler alert. And we would bring her into our crew. We'd go smoke some cigarettes at Denny's. We'd take her to a golf club, get her a dude, and we'd be fine. She would just be hanging out with us. But again, self-defense. I'm thinking if anything should come at us, she could just set them on fire and blow them up.
She is a weapon of mass destruction, so that's kind of cool
She's
to
like-
have her as a mate.
She's like an X-Men or something. You know, that's all she is. And, you know, show her a little love and friendship, and I think we'll have a deterrent.
We could also give her an antidepressant, counsel her for PTSD. She'd be good to go.
Yeah, we'll just throw some wine down her throat. Everything will be fine.
I'm going to give you 3 tools, and you have to pick one of these tools. These 3 tools are for specifically a zombie.
Yes, I'm ready.
So, all right, you have to choose either a sharp, thick pencil with a troll topper head,
Oh, this is getting worse. Okay.
a bag of apples, or a stack of blankets.
Well, I think I'm dead picking any of them, but I mean, these are the slow zombies, I suppose. So I might go with a couple of blankies.
Okay.
Okay.
You can just wrap them up and kick them over and then fucking run, you know?
Throw them over their heads and go. Blind them. You're going to get 3 tools for vampires. You got to pick one. A high lumen flashlight with strobe, a tub of garlic butter, or a Red Cross bag of blood from a donor on LSD.
Okay, I would invite them to my house, and seeing I'm part Italian, I'd make them a nice Italian meal, and I would just load them up with garlic. I mean, you can eat me in a little bit, you know. I've been gnawed on before, you know, it's no big deal. And then they would eat the garlic and just their head would explode or whatever, you know.
Okay, so you're going with the garlic butter then.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. 3 tools for a werewolf. You get a squirt gun with colloidal silver, a grain-free dog food, or a tennis ball.
You know what? I was gonna go with silver, but you know, I think that they would chase the tennis ball.
Good choice.
Yeah, if he's about to jump on me, I would hold the tennis ball and go, look. And then I would throw it. And I think that'd be the best chance.
Unless he's part beagle and doesn't give a shit about tennis balls.
Yeah. I have something for you girls, okay?
Oh no.
Okay, we're ready.
Okay, so it's a little bit of a contest, and everybody listening can try and guess along too. We're going to do 2 quick rounds, very, very quick. I'm going to try and beatbox something for you, and I'm going to do it terribly, and you have to guess, okay? So the first one is a Halloween song, all right? Like a song that's always played through Halloween, okay?
Okay.
So here we go. All right, ready? You got to guess the song. And it goes like this. Does anything come up?
It
Sound like you're hawking a loogie.
I know.
All right. I did it wrong. Let me do it again, okay? And you try to guess.
Okay.
Here we go.
It sounds familiar though.
It does.
You can get it. Very famous.
I don't know. I mean, everything that's coming in my head is tainted love. Da, 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 da. What are you getting, Steph?
Nothing. I know it sounds very familiar, but it's not popping.
I know as soon as you tell us, we're going to go, oh, so what is it?
It's Thriller.
Oh.
Thriller. you know, like that.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right. So this one, all right. This is winner take all. This is the final one, okay? And I think
All right.
you'll get it. It's basically two notes that are just repeated over and over really fast, okay? All right, you ready?
Okay.
All right,
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
Jaws.
No. That's it. It basically just goes.
You're calling from outer space, is it?
All right, you failed. It's Halloween 3. You know, 10 more days to Halloween.
Oh, yes. No, that's the weirdest one of the Halloween movies.
That is.
It's a very strange soundtrack. Wow, I never would have thought of that, but when you say it, now I know.
She's hearing it now.
So
She's
weird.
hearing it now.
Yeah, here's a fun fact. They were running out of money, and they had to come up with a song for that commercial that they play throughout the movie. And they went to public domain and took London Bridge and just changed the lyrics.
Oh, wow.
That
So
makes
it's
sense.
London Bridges, you know, like that's all it is. So yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
You guys tied
For $12.4 million.
Here we go.
Would you babysit Emily Rose for 3 full days, crab walk included?
12. Okay. Well, at this point, I want to pay off my student loans. So God damn, that's terrible. That's terrible, man. You wouldn't get any sleep or anything, and
3 days was it? 3 days.
3 days.
It's not too bad. 3 days. It's like doing a rave.
Yeah, it's 72
yeah.
hours. You know?
Okay. All right, I'll get mushrooms and somebody and stay up for 3 days and do it. So yeah, I'll be fine. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah.
All right. So for $50.2 million in gold bars.
Whoa.
Would you dive down in Crystal Lake and steal Jason's hockey mask off his face?
Oh man, he's used to swimming, chilling down there. So, yeah, I would try it, but I don't think I would. Yeah, I don't think I would survive. But again, student loans are all the phone calls and everything. I gotta try.
Oh boy, he's going for it. We got to up the ante here. Okay, I'm upping the ante then. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you $143 million for this one.
Nice.
I mean, this would take care of student loans. This would set you up for life here. You have to drill a hole into your skull, just enough to expose your brain, and then you have to walk through a room of zombies. Would you do it?
No.
Not for $143 million?
I mean, infection would, even if I got away from the zombies, the infection would already set in, and I think by the time I got to the and you got to wait in line at the hospital. Hey, my brain is exposed. Sir, will you wait 45 minutes? Sit over there, please. You know, yeah.
Then you'd have COVID by that time anyway, so.
Yeah, I don't think I'm doing that one.
Okay.
No.
For $360,000. So this would take care of your school loans, and you could buy a house in Connecticut.
Okay.
Would you walk through the arachnophobia house blindfolded and in boxer
Fucking
shorts?
forget it. Forget it.
I thought you would do that in a second. I'm thinking spiders. Who gives a crap?
Spiders are one of my.
I could do that one. I'm not afraid of spiders. I don't like them.
Yeah, I'm with Jason on that one. I would not be doing that
for $360,000. Like I would go through the arachnophobia.
Wow.
House.
If I see a spider in my house, I would grenade my house to kill that spider.
Me too. I'd get one of Elon Musk's flamethrowers.
I didn't realize that was going to evoke so much
anxiety.
Oh, I thought that was going to be the easiest one.
No, for $142.8 million or whatever you said, I still wouldn't do it.
Oh, it was $360,000. It was a low amount.
Very low amount.
That's even worse. But I have one for each of you.
Okay. We're ready.
So I'll go with Beck first. For $6,666,666, would you watch The Exorcist for 2 weeks straight? Now, I'm going to put you in a chair, right? And it's going to be like a 100-inch TV, and we're going to keep your eyes open like Little Alex and Clockwork Orange. So even when you fall asleep, your eyeballs are looking at it. And,
oh God!
2 weeks straight. Would you do it for $6.6 million?
Wow, that's
I would do it.
Okay, this is me though. I don't know. I don't think I can handle my eyes.
You're up every night, Beck. You're up every night. Every time I talk to you, I just like.
All right, I do it, and then I'd come out of there really fucked up, and I would be saying the words to I'd know the whole thing through and through, and I'd be psychologically scarred for the rest of my life. I'd close my eyes and see that movie, but I'd do it.
All right, okay. You'd look like a vampire who hadn't eaten in centuries, but you'd be fine. Okay, so this is for Steffi. All right, we're gonna go up a little bit more because this is a little more crazy. So I'll go $10,282,682. Okay. So any and all music. Now this is for life. Okay. If you're watching a movie, if you go to the movies, if you plug in your headphones into your phone and listen to a song, if you go to a live concert, all you're ever going to hear are a rotating bunch of scary movie themes. So you'll go see like the Foo Fighters and you'll hear like, they'd be playing a song or whatever. Or you'd go home and plug in your headphones to listen to a podcast and you'd hear, the Exorcist theme. So for life, you're never going to hear music again, and it will always interject a scary movie theme.
I wouldn't do that one, definitely. That's
me too.
Yeah, no, that's way too much insanity. I could definitely use peace in my life, so if that's all it was going to be, to me, peace and money, peace would be first, money would be secondary, so it'd be peace first.
Yeah, music's too precious, really.
Yeah, it really is. I'm the same. I agree with that. To the both of you, would you spend a night in the Overlook Hotel with Jack Torrance or at the high school gym during prom with Carrie?
I'll go Jack Torrance because he's limping. He doesn't move very fast. He's been drinking and shit, and he's just kind of sloppy. And I would take him on, man. I'd get a trash can lid, so when he swung the axe, I'd deflect that and just push him over and then start kicking him like Goodfellas, and it'd be it,
What about you, Steph?
I kind of agree because Carrie, she's just so angry. She's just aiming it towards anybody.
Yeah, but you might make it out of there. She might not even affect you. You might just make it right out of there.
That's true.
Be at the back of the crowd.
I don't know.
There's no limit. There's no limit to her powers, though. We don't know the limit to her powers.
Yeah, she's like going crazy and just lighting things on fire and doesn't care who's in the way. And only a few people cause that pain to her, like her embarrassment.
Yeah.
Yeah, she took care of a lot of people for some reason. She had no control over it. Where I feel like with The Shining or whatever, I might have a chance. Don't know. But
okay.
I feel it's a little bit more doable to me. I don't know why.
Okay. All right. Would you guys rather be abducted by aliens or chased by running zombies?
I'd rather be chased by zombies.
Really?
Yeah, no, aliens scare the
These
crap
are
out
the
of me.
running zombies. These things run.
I would rather fight and have that awesome energy of fighting, like that awesome energy, like fucking punching people. You feel like high off of like adrenaline, than being helpless on a table and someone is probing you and putting some weird foreign substance in your mouth and making you choke.
Okay.
And getting you nightmares for eternity.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go with zombies, man. I've always wanted to take on some zombies,
Okay.
The aliens have like different, not powers, but if you somehow were eating breakfast on the spaceship and you hit a knife and you went behind one to stab it, they might turn around and then freeze you. And then next thing you know, you're getting something shoved up your ass and then thrown into a forest. Yeah, they're a little more unpredictable. I think we can plan around zombies. You said fast zombies? Like
they're running. Yep.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I would take my chance with that, I guess, because we know the limits, and once you know the limits, then you know how to come up with a battle plan. Yeah.
Yeah, but you better be Usain Bolt, man. Is all I'm saying, because you got a horde of those things running at you like 28 days later.
Run.
Oh,
you've never seen me run, Becky.
Were you a track star and I never knew?
I was never a track star, but I know I can run. And I'm also almost a 3rd degree black belt.
Well, that's
I can take
true.
care of myself.
Steph is almost a 3rd degree black belt, so that would be okay. I see.
That's great to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're the first one fighting, and Beck and I are chilling in the back.
Yeah. Right? Yep. What would you do if there was a ghost constantly sitting on your shoulders? It's Shutter style.
I don't know. Who wants to go first? I don't know.
think I would pretend that I was giving piggyback rides. And just let it go from there. Just piggyback rides.
She's piggyback riding, Jason. What are you doing?
I would take it to the casino and see if it could read the cards of the dealer and try and get rich. And tell.
Oh,
and,
All right.
That's
and-
a good one.
and I'll build it a nice mausoleum. We'll put some LED lights around it. We'll put some Bluetooth speakers, play some house music. You know,
Make them happy.
I think we can work with that. Yeah, I think we can work with that. Yeah.
Boy, you guys came up with some good ones for that. Stuff's going to give piggyback rides, and you're going to use that ghost to your advantage. I like that. That's positive thinking. That's smart.
I have two little games for you, and this is the second one, okay? And everybody listening can decide who they think is the better performer, okay? I'm going to call this Monster Mouth. I'll go first to break the ice and embarrass myself first, okay? So
Okay.
I got a couple of them. First one, we're going to start off as a zombie, okay? I want to hear how you would sound as a zombie if you're walking around, okay? So I'll go first. I'm a tortured zombie, you know, I'm a starving artist, so I kind of will translate that into my my voice. Okay, so here we go. Okay, I'm a zombie now.
Well, I want to come on your zombie. There are certain aspects of that where frustration. I'm interpreting millennial frustration because I heard some whining in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, personally, my interpretation of that is it sounds like someone getting on their Harley across the street at the bar, getting ready to leave, and they're revving their engine. But I didn't feel too horrified.
Mhm.
All right, Steph, you want to do your zombie?
My zombie is.
Oh wow,
That's terrifying.
Yeah, that's me without coffee every morning.
that's bad breath zombie.
I know we got to change that microphone pop filter now.
I'm gonna do my zombie more like a disgusting.
So apparently the zombie's on the toilet, right?
Right, right. There's a struggle happening.
Jeez. We'd make a really crazy group of zombies. Okay, all right. The next one is possession. Okay, so I want to hear your best exorcist or whatever. So I'll go first. Picture my mouth open and my tongue flailing around. Okay, all right. So here's what. All right, so now I'm possessed. Okay. All right. I'm fucking.
My stomach burns from laughing. It's so bad.
All right, we're ready.
Okay, you're ready. All right. My tongue is flat around. My mouth is open. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
That one's scary.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't. Oh, I'm getting.
My stomach burns.
Okay, Steph, that's you. Here-
I have to just spontaneously come with.
Get that priest away! Deal with the priest. Okay. Okay.
Again, I'm not messing with that exorcist person.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I can't even compete with these. Help me. Please, someone help me.
So the devil is saying, "Help me," in your possession.
Yes. He's a trickster. He's trying to get the help. That he just, you know.
Oh.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
I got one more. There was a fourth, and it was a ghoul, but nobody knows what the hell a ghoul. It's such a kind of a generic term. But we're gonna go with pod person, okay, from like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. So I'll go first again, and we're chilling out. We're playing Warlords on Atari, and Steph, you and Beck are like, Jason's acting weird, and then I notice that, and then I point at you and go.
Oh my
So
god.
we take the controller, we take like the joystick and beat the hell out of you with it.
Yeah, because pod people don't really do anything special. They just point and scream at you, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Point and scream.
Okay, so now Becky and I are chilling with you, Steph, and
Okay.
and we're playing what are we playing? We're playing Miss Pac-Man or something, and Becky's like, Steffi looks a little strange in the eyes, and then you notice that, and you go,
Which happens to me every day. It's the cigarettes. Your mother sucks cocks in hell.
so it's a possessed pod person, right?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, I think you have sleep apnea. I would tell your pod person I think you need one of those masks.
The oxygen mask at night.
Let's talk about childhood trick-or-treating stories.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
I'm sure everyone has a good one.
So my birthday is like 2 weeks before Halloween, and in the early '80s when I was watching Exorcist, Entity, and Amityville Horror, there were these things called zany zappers, and they looked like, and you can see the commercial on YouTube or whatever, and it's like those '80s sunglasses like Tom Cruise wore in fucking Risky Business, but it had a light in front of each of your eyes, and then it had like a little cord, and then in your pocket you can have the on-off switch, and you can flick the on-off, 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 and it would make your eyes blink, blink. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
you couldn't see out of these goddamn glasses. If there were solar eclipse, you wouldn't even notice. You wouldn't. You never notice. So dad and mom are taking me around, and in those days you would hop in a car, go to a street, trick or treat on that street, hop in the car, go to another street. So it's the first leg, it's the first street, and second and third time I get my treat, and I start tripping a little bit, and I'm like knocking over a bush, and my dad's turning around with a cigarette in his mouth. Are you all right? Yeah, I'm fine. Fourth house, I open up my bag. I can't even see the person, right? I don't even know if they put a grenade in my bag. I wouldn't even know. My dad and mom go down the steps, and I start going down the steps, and I fall, and I like flail around on the ground, and my chin is bleeding, and my lips bleeding a little bit.
Oh
And
boy.
yeah, and as my dad would do with anything that we were playing with that hurt us, he would do it like this. And this Halloween example is the same thing. He picked me up, he grabbed my glasses off my head, he yanked them up so the controller fell into his other hand, and he crunched them and like broke them, dropped them, and then he just grabbed me and said, "Let's keep going." The rest of the fucking time, it like my costume was, I slicked my hair back, had a jean jacket on. I was like Joe Cool, and then I would surprise you with the eye thing. So the zany zappers were the whole costume. And once they went away, I was just basically like, I don't know, Greaser or Elvis or whatever.
You lost your persona.
I did, yeah. And I looked them up on eBay. They're about $100 now, but
Wow.
I wish they would come out with them again so we can all trip over each other.
Zany zappers.
Yeah, zany zappers. So that's kind of like my earliest kind of example. And I remember going to a house and the door was open and there was a Dracula dude at the top of the stairs. Like there was the stairs you go up to the second level, and I went halfway up the stairs and he like started coming at me, and I went, and I ran out of there. And I never got the candy, but I remember that when I think back, that being the creepiest like house. I thought I was gonna be murdered.
I don't know how old I was, but I know that when I went to my local grocery store, there was a Yoda mask, and it was in that cardboard box with the clear.
Yes.
And I had the Yoda mask, and I was like, I'm going to be Yoda. And it came with the plastic, I don't know, overall suit or whatever that was, and the plastic mask. So when Halloween came, I was like, I'm not going to go. I changed my mind at the last minute. I have no idea why I changed my mind. I think it just seemed like, I don't know, I just didn't have fun last year. I don't know what gave me this decision whatsoever. But then I heard kids in my neighborhood and they're having fun. And I was like, all right, I got to go. And some of my friends came to my door and they're like, where is she? And I'm like, all right, I'm going to go. So I grab my mask and I take off. And I only get a few houses, and the stupid plastic mask is digging into the corner of my eye. I don't know if anyone from the early 80s or whatever that experienced these masks, they freaking hurt your eyes.
It was sharp.
Yeah, it was very sharp. So
Yeah.
I came home crying. I got back. We kind of came back up the street. I'm like, Dad, this is making my eye hurt. I can't take it. And he's like, all right, hold on. So like, can I be a ghost? And so he gave me a fresh sheet, like out of our closet that went on one of our beds, and I cut eye holes and a mouth hole, and I was a ghost. did it so fast that I'm going to run out of the house. I'm going to be a ghost because I couldn't take the sharpness of the Yoda mask. And the moment I run down the street, I step on the sheet, boom, it yanks off me. And then I put it back on. And this happened repeatedly. I kept on stepping on it, boom, yank off me. And I almost had a nervous breakdown as a kid because I felt like my friends are going to wait up for me. I made a last minute decision. This is a nightmare. So I go back to the house because I was still on my street. And my dad's like, all right, I got an idea. He had me in his 40s. So by the time he passed away, he was about 80 years old. So he's really an old dad for me, you know, more like a grandpa. He takes that sheet, cuts it down, fixes it on my head, then makes like a wrap, like he puts it on my head like a veil, and then he makes like a wrap around my forehead, like another bandana around
Like a turban?
it. Like a turban. Then he took his ashtray of cigarette ashes and spit into it and started making a beard on my face with the, with the cigarette ashes. And then put sunglasses on me and handed me one of my toys, which I was a big collector of machine guns as a kid. I don't know if you were, but it seems like the 80s was loaded with like replica machine gun or gun toys.
Yeah.
But I always had gun toys as a kid. So I had a machine gun and it looked real, pretty much real, without an orange tip or anything like fluorescent on it before they made that into a law. Basically, I had sunglasses, a fake beard, a turban, and a machine gun. And my dad goes, here you go. You're a terrorist.
I mean, this was during the Iran-Contra days.
This is the Iran-Contra days. Yeah. And I was like, Dad, I'm wearing a ski jacket. I literally had a ski jacket on because it's fall here and it's cold. I'm like, do terrorists wear ski jackets? Like, oh, yes, they do. Just keep going. So I ran out and I was a terrorist. Didn't know how controversial that was whatsoever. But that was my, like, I don't know, experience.
That was your trick-or-treat
my
experience.
trick-or-treat experience that I will never forget. It's pretty damn funny if you think about it, but it's also very offensive to a lot of modern people.
I went trick-or-treating, and I came to a house with an older couple. I said, trick-or-treat. And they said, give us a trick, and we'll give you a treat. I didn't know. I never put 2 and 2 together and knew that you had to do a trick to get the treat. I mean, that had never happened to me before.
Nobody does. Yeah.
No. So just in a flash instant, I started kind of jitterbugging around, going way down upon the Swanee River. And
what the hell song is that?
That's a throwback, you know, like I think I'm an old soul. I think it's probably from the late 1800s for all I know. They enjoyed it. They threw a couple Tootsie Rolls in there, you know, all that work for a few little Tootsie Rolls, probably even the white Tootsie Rolls. Those ones really suck. And I get moving along. Now, at this point, my pillowcase is like 3/4 of the way full. I mean, this was in the days we were using pillowcases. I don't know what kids nowadays use.
Yeah.
We weren't using those little plastic pumpkins. We weren't messing around. So I had 3/4 of the pillowcase. You know, I had another house to give me a popcorn ball. You know, another house gives me a nickel. Another house gives me an apple. You weren't even supposed to do that. Okay, throw it in. And I get almost home, and I got robbed by the older kids. They took my pillowcase and just left me in the dust. I think one of those little doctor office lollipops was on the ground left over from what.
That's terrible.
It is. All that trickery and no treats.
I had a group of people that I knew, but they dressed up as Kiss for Halloween, and they thought they were the biggest bullies of the whole area, and they were terrorizing people with like switchblades that were actually combs. Do you ever see the combs?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I had one, yeah.
Yeah, they were threatening us with these switchblades, but then we realized they're combs, and they're dressed as Kiss, like to a T. Very scary as a kid. They were throwing eggs at us. That was kind of an exciting time. I loved it. I have to say, I did love it. But it was also frightening, too, because it was like we're being challenged by, like, the scary Kiss mob.
So I went to Catholic school. You know, I was the punk of the school. I was, you know, out of control. They had the school dance. And I dressed, again, like, I don't know what my thing was with a greaser. So I looked like a greaser from The Outsiders. One of the nuns that I didn't really like was at the entrance. I said, how you doing? And she's like, I'm doing great. And then I whipped out the comb and did the you know. But when you face it a certain way, it looks like fucking Blade. And she jumped back, and then I combed my hair and I went, I'll see you inside. We're talking about Halloween, going trick or treating and stuff. Did your parent? Is it just me, or did your parents take the good candy? Like, I remember
Yeah.
I remember one trick or treating night. I pour everything on the table, and all the candy's on the table, and my dad's checking it for razors and pins, which never happened. And he separated. This was the north side of Syracuse, so basically you're getting Smarties and lollipops and stuff. But once in a while you'd get like Snickers or Reese's or something. And he separated all the chocolate and put it in the refrigerator. And like 2 days later, I go back and I look and they're all gone. And I go to my dad and I'm like, what happened? Where's all my chocolate? Because that was like the gold, right? And
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, we had a little fun with them, and that's it. And I was so pissed off, man, because to get to a house that you get one of those things it was great. But did your parents do that too, or am I just
Oh no.
strange?
I mean, my mom was awesome because she always liked the candy I hated. So she ate all the bit of honeys. I hated bit of honeys. And she liked those what were they called? Mary Janes or something like that. But
Yeah.
all,
Yep.
all the crap candy. So I was like, take it. And meanwhile I had my Reese's, my Snickers, all that. And then I would trade with my brother. I was lucky in that sense.
My dad came up with the biggest lies of all time that I know of now, but didn't know then. We would have awesome candy in there with all different stuff. We'd have the shitty like Smarties and all that shit. But then we would have like peanut butter cups and all the really good chocolate stuff. So my dad would be like, do you know Santa's elves come on Halloween night? And they're looking for something because they want to see how generous you are. I think he made it up because I've never found it anywhere. So we thought if we gave Santa's elves on Halloween night all our best shit, we would end up with a better Christmas. So we would go out, be like, I'm going to give my peanut butter cups and my Twix, my like whatever it was that was like chocolate and something, because that seemed like the most valuable thing. And it was really my dad trying to get to our candy without being like, I'm stealing it from you.
That was
outright.
the most evil.
That's pretty damn evil.
That's evil.
So every Halloween for years, I used to put my best candy in a paper bag out in the front porch for Santa's elves, and it was my dad that took it.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
But don't you think it's awesome as a parent? Like, seriously, wouldn't you do that as a parent, though?
No.
I'm telling you, I think
No,
I would.
I would.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
Just
it's genius.
Because it's free candy. You realize your kid came home from candy and all of a sudden you're salivating. You're like, I want some of that candy. So you got to come up with a freaking story to control your kid.
Well, wouldn't you just say, hey, honey, can I have a piece of your candy?
I know that might work, but my dad was a psychopath. So.
I know we're nearing the end here, and this is a little experimental, but I have one more little game for us to play, okay?
Okay.
So this is called, I just wrote down zombie talk. We all love zombies, and I think it'd be fun if we can role play, let's say, Steffi and Beck, you come over, I'm playing Space Invaders on Atari, and I'm a zombie, and you're trying to get me to go out and do something, like to be a movie or to get food or whatever. So I'll act the zombie, okay? And you guys try and get me to go out.
So you're going to be a zombie, and
I'm
we
your
have to try.
Yeah, I'm your friend, but I'm a zombie. But you got to get me to do something. But I'm freaky.
Okay.
All right, so I'm playing. All right. Hey, how you doing, friends? Oh.
Hey, Jason, do you want to come with us and get some brain pizza?
They put brains on pizza.
Yeah, we're going to get you all the best brain toppings you want.
It's double loaded sausage, brains, pepperoni, and brains.
Oh, do they have hot sauces there?
Oh yes, we steal them from Taco Bell. We got lots of
sauce. I like Taco Bell sauces. You know what? I'm not doing so well at Space Invaders. Yeah, you know what? Okay, let's go.
That was the easiest.
Pizza's my favorite food, man. If I'm a zombie and you throw brains on pizza and I have different hot sauces, fine. No problem.
Yeah. I think that's why I defaulted to that, because pizza's my favorite too.
Oh, yeah, you can't beat it. So Beck, you're the zombie now, okay? And
Okay.
Steph and I come over and you're watching Gilmore Girls or something, okay?
Okay.
And we got to get you to go to a movie, okay? All right. So Steph and I walk in.
Okay. Oh, Gilmore Girls.
Beck, do you need to go to the bathroom?
I like this town.
Well,
I love Melissa McCarthy.
Okay, Beck, she's great, but you got to get out of the fucking house, okay? I know you can't move so well. I know your jaw's falling off. We can put a handkerchief around it.
One more episode.
If it's on DVR, you're coming to the fucking movie with us, okay? We're going to a movie.
Suki.
Well, I bet you Gilmore Girls can't do this for you. At the theater now, because there are zombies everywhere, they have popcorn brain, okay?
Oh. Gilmore Girls have movie.
You know what, Steph? Fuck, she's a fucking lost cause. Let's get out of here.
You can't pull me away from
her.
that Gilmore Girls, guys.
I don't even know what it is. I've heard of it. I don't know what the hell Gilmore Girls is.
It's a really, oh my god,
it's like a teenage TV series.
I don't even know if it's
only
teenage.
Girls would watch it. Or maybe
Yeah,
Jason.
only girls would.
Somehow Jason knows about it. I don't know why. I have no.
Why he give me Gilmore Girls of everything?
That was that particular brain cell dying from my spider cider, and it just.
Oh.
Okay, we got to get Steffi somewhere back. What can we try and entice her to do?
Okay, Steph is drinking her bottle of wine after a hard day of work.
And it's fallen out of her neck, but yeah, keep going.
It's just dripping out of her neck, but she continues to drink it. It's a big jug of Carlo Rossi. She's listening to QAnon on YouTube.
A political zombie. Okay.
Yes.
It's not political. It's pedophiles.
We got to get her off of that because she's literally brainwashed.
Okay.
How are we going to do this?
Steph.
Yes.
What you fucking watching?
I'm watching QAnon.
You're a zombie. You're talking so good.
QAnon. No more. Just QAnon.
Steph, you got to come out with us. We're going to go kill pedos.
I am a pet. No, I'm cute.
No, we have a pedo zombie. She's on the database and her picture is like this rotting, stuffy face, you know?
Steph, the little children are outside. They're getting ready to go trick-or-treating. Do you want to come out and
eat them and crush them? I go.
Hey, and by the way, zombie Steph, I know you got another bottle of wine in the fucking fridge. Bring that along too. We're gonna put it.
No, I don't. You bring bottle of wine and I have no more.
I'm dealing with an alcoholic zombie over here.
An alcoholic zombie, political pedo zombie. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Happy Halloween. Steph, do you have anything you want to say before we close?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't know that in the beginning of the show, we were supposed to have a movie, but I didn't know that. I thought we were starting off right off of questions. Not a movie.
Well, I thought we were
had
just
no
going to be
movie.
talking about films. I mean,
I know. But I had all the answers. I was prepared.
She's still part zombie.
She just turned back into the pedo zombie.
Okay, don't need that label anymore.
Hey, there's no labels around here. Be whatever you want to be. Jason, we've had a wonderful time with you.
Thank you so much for having me.
I had a lot of fun. We covered a lot of subjects, a lot of situations.
Yeah, we're gonna have nightmares tonight. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to have you back on sometime just to really bring that fun to the people.
Anytime. Hope everybody enjoyed it.
I'm Beck.
No, Steph.
And remember, we all float down here.
We all float.
To the spirit.
Podcast.
Supernatural science.
Aliens. I'm ghost.
Psychic. Mystic.
Spirit.
Divine source.
Heaven. The dead. It's magic.